Hi, guys. Thanks for being with us today. We are here to talk to you about admissions. Now what? Actions, decisions, things to do. And Heather Lacey is here with Scholarshot, and she's going to break it all down for us. Heather, before we get started, just kind of refresh people if they haven't joined us before and tell them what it is that you do for Scholarshot and why you thought this was an important topic today.
Yeah. So I actually recently have been into a new position as project manager here at Scholarshot. I help still advise students. Not only that, I also manage our mentor program. And the reason why we are doing this is to help students know where they should be and where they need to fix their errors or fill in anything that they have missed. So yeah, that's where we are at with our college admissions and acceptances.
Well, hey, congratulations on the new position.
Thank you.
And I know that's an exciting role. And I do think this is great because you and I were talking before we got started, and you mentioned the word tedious when we talk about certain things that we have to do. And this is kind of one of those things where there's a lot of boxes to check, and you want to make sure you're ahead of the game. So if you're watching this today, you are going to be checking all the right boxes. You're going to know what's happening. So let's go ahead and kick it off with this very first one. You got accepted. What's next? And you mentioned school login. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So a lot of the times whenever you are being accepted into a school, whatever email you use to create your application and you applied with, that's the email that you're going to be sent an email from your school. So make sure you are checking your emails, making sure you have not missed anything, because that is important information of trying to create a school login. They'll send you a login code. You'll click it. You'll click the link or whatever it is. And then you'll go ahead and create your school login. The reason why it is so important to create a school login is so you can create a school portal, and so you can have access to see what you are missing. It shows like what financial aid, your status on your financial aid is, any holds. So let's say if you're missing any meningitis records or transcripts, anything of that nature, it will show you what holds you're missing. And if you are confused about what's going on or what a hold is, you can always contact the admissions office and they can explain to you what exactly you are missing.
And so that starts pretty quickly then when it comes to once you're admitted, you don't want to sleep on that.
Yeah, no. Typically it also shows like scholarships. So you can sometimes the school will give you about like a week or two to actually accept the scholarship. So that is kind of an imperative deadline of checking your school login. Not only that, just making sure everything is pretty much first come, first serve whenever you are enrolling, things of that nature.
Like so housing and things like that?
Yeah. So of course, yes, housing is a really big one. Housing fills up really quickly, especially for freshmen who are trying to get onto and live on campus. The housing application does open at a certain time and it does close at a certain time as well. So figuring out where you're housing, how much it's going to cost, things of that nature will also benefit you. Next, I would say is like choosing a meal plan, because again, these are all college expenses that are going to help you decide what are your next steps. What do I need to do next? And by creating this login, you can find everything that is needed. So you can find your housing. You can look up different housing places on campus, and then it can also help with finding different school organizations, solidifying what your major is, and really figuring out what you need to do and what you can do to be involved on campus.
By this time, are most people accepted, or is this when early acceptance is starting to happen? What are you typically seeing?
Yeah, so there's I would say a wide variety of students. So some students are already having about right now early acceptance. Not only that, you are kind of also at the deadline for priority deadline. So those are kind of two different dates of like seeing where you are. Some students are already going to be accepted into the university or college of their choice. So all they need to do is choose their major, choose their housing. And then students who have not been accepted just need to keep out on the lookout for their school login, checking their email, and seeing what else they need to do in order to have a complete application. Because again, even though you have submitted your application, you hit submit, but a complete application is submitting all the necessary documentation, your SAT scores, your transcripts, things of that nature.
Well, and I think it's a great point to mention too when we talk about your acceptance and the college experience. Kind of expand on that for me.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of the times your college experience, we do compare ourselves to our peers, and sometimes that is bittersweet, I would say. So you are not defined by your path. Some students, you will realize that you need to start out community college just for affordability. Let's see, family reasons, totally understandable. That is your path, and that is totally acceptable. That is who you are. So do not let others' acceptances, your peers' acceptances being compared to you. Because again, your path is your path, and that path is going to be the best for you financially and socially. So again, don't compare yourself to your peers. You are right where you need to be. You being accepted into community college is awesome, or you being accepted to junior college, private school, or public school. Whatever it is, you are not alone, and you are more than just your test scores.
Yeah, I do think that's important when you say that you're not alone, because there are so many people out there that feel that way during this time. It's very normal.
Yes. So in a sense, a lot of the students you feel like are already, when they're accepted in May, do not underestimate that, because come August, a lot of different things happen. And a lot of the students and your friends who you thought were going to go off to university end up not going because of X, Y, and Z reason. So you are not alone. You are on your own path, and you are going to do great regardless. So you are not more. You are more than your test scores, as I said.
Okay, so I think this is another good one that you wanted to talk about specifically for high school seniors, and what kind of where they should be at right now. So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So for high school seniors, whatever college you are applying to, not only that, you need to finish up your essays, finish up any scholarship essays that you are wanting to do. This is a really great time, especially with students almost going on break. This gives you something to do. You can also ask your teachers for recommendation letters. Again, give them at least 2 weeks to get back to you, your recommendation letter. That's very important. It is kind of time consuming, so make sure you send that off beforehand, so that way you can have everything complete. So you want to make sure you are finalizing your essay, completing any scholarship applications, and just overall talking to your family how you are going to be paying for college. So again, creating that login, that's kind of the step of like figuring out what scholarships can I apply for, what can the financial aid do, and setting those appointments to really talk and figure out like, okay, this is how much I'm going to need, this is how much I owe, and this is how much is going to be covered. Again, all of those expenses do add up. So just talk to your parents about what is going on, or your parent or guardian. And so that way you can figure out, I need to start applying for more scholarships, or I need to take out work study, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, those are kind of your next steps of what to do if you are a high school senior right now. It's daunting, but don't worry. You have the support. Again, you are not alone.
And when you mention about high school seniors, I mean, this is applicable to, more than just high school seniors, but I really want to make sure you get it across a gap app mention, because this really does help you focus on maybe what school you should pick based on your situation.
Yes. So with a gap app, you'll be able to see like where you are best fit financially and academically. So it shows you and compares like how much books and supplies are, how much your tuition, your room and board, all of those things in the nature. So check out our Gap app, and you can look for the logo in the Apple store, and you can find it and download it. And it will for sure help you figure out, okay, this is how much I'm going to need. This is how much is going to be covered. It really helps differentiate that. It's a really great app.
All right, Heather, I really appreciate your expertise. And listen, for anyone who is watching college admissions, where should you be now for college kids, high school seniors, high school students? Share this, please, with someone that you know who could use this information. It's less than 10 minutes, and it will really help people kind of get on the ball and feel, I think, a little bit more confident about what they're going to be moving into, because it is a lot, and Heather knows that all too well. So, Heather, is there anything else you'd like to wrap up and say? Are we good to go?
I think we're good to go. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. We are more than happy to help anyone along their journey.
Yeah, I know. I want to make sure I flash this up before we go. If you want to head to scholarshot.org as well, they've got a great way, or you can contact them through their social media pages. They're responding there too. Okay, Heather, yes. Thank you so very much. We made it under 10 minutes. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.